All right, hi, hello, it's me. So today we are going to be making one of my favorite Weight Watchers recipes, maybe just like in general recipe, because this is really good. So today we are going to be making spaghetti and meatballs. It's my favorite thing ever. Like, I love them, and today we're going to be doing them in the crock pot, so extra level of like ease here. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you what we need for this recipe, and then we're going to get started making it. This is like really stupid easy, you guys. Okay. So to make the meatballs, we are going to use some gluten-free breadcrumbs. If you're not gluten-free, obviously feel free to use normal breadcrumbs. I really like these ones from Target. They're the Good and Gather brand for gluten-free ones. And then I have one scrambled egg back there. I have an onion that is like really finely diced. And I'm going to use 1 pound of lean ground turkey, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and salt. Okay, so that's going to be everything that we're going to use to make the meatballs. And then these meatballs are going in the crock pot with a 0-point pasta sauce. So to do that, I'm going to use 1 can of crushed tomatoes. I'm probably going to put a little bit of chicken broth in there. We'll do some minced garlic. I have another half of the onion that is, this one's like more of like a medium dice, I would say. And then I have a green pepper diced up back there. We're gonna put some spinach in there and then some fresh mushroom as well. You can do whatever you like. If you want canned mushrooms, that's good too. You do you. This is like a super versatile sauce. I mean, it's really easy to just kind of throw what you have on hand in there. And as always, all of like the exact measurements and recipe and everything will be in the down bar below. Alrighty, you guys, so let's get started with this meat mixture. So in my bowl right here, I have 1/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. And to that, I'm gonna add my 1 scrambled egg. And then I'm gonna add in my finely diced onion. I like to do like a really fine dice on the onion. You can even grate this with a cheese grater and that works really good as well. But basically our meatballs aren't gonna be like huge. Like they're gonna be, you know, about golf ball sized, I would say. And so I don't want my onions to be like giant chunks of onions sticking out. And then I'm gonna add salt, you know, salt to your own tastes, I guess. And then we'll do some black pepper. This is honestly such an easy recipe too. Like, once you kind of just like get the basics of a meatball down, I'm gonna do an Italian seasoning blend in here. Again, with all the seasonings, just like season what you think feels good, you know? But this is kind of like one of those things, like once you just get the basics of it down, then you can really kind of make these meatballs like any flavor that you like. Like I like to do Italian meatballs like this a lot, but I've done ones before with like spinach and feta in them, and then I'll eat those like with a tzatziki sauce on the side. That's really good. I'm doing some garlic powder here. But you can really just kind of put whatever you like in meatballs. And so today we're doing them in the crock pot. I've done them. This is some onion powder. I've done them before, you know. They're good if you just like do them on the stove, fry them up. You can cook them in the oven. I've done them in the air fryer. They are so good in the air fryer. They get really crispy, but I like doing them in the crock pot because, well, it's a crock pot, so it's like kind of set it and forget it. I'm just gonna stir all this up. And They come out like really, really tender when you do them in the crock pot. And like I said, it's just like super easy. You don't have a lot of dishes to do then, which I love. So that just kind of adds to the ease of it. So I like to mix all of this together first, and then after that I add my meat in. And I'm about to get in here with that ground turkey and give it a good massage. So if that grosses you out, I apologize, but it's what's gotta happen. I guess if you can do it with a spoon or something, you do you, but I just get right in there, you know? And all I'm doing is just kind of folding and pressing everything together, because you want everything to be like really well incorporated. So I have everything all combined here. I'm gonna wash my hands really quickly. Okay, so I'm gonna start rolling out my meatballs, and I have my crock for my crock pot right here. I just sprayed a little bit of oil in the bottom of that. I really don't know that it's like necessary, but you know, I just put a little in there just in case. So to measure my meatballs, I'm going to use one of these bad boys. This is just a cookie scoop. You could use like, I don't know, an ice cream scoop. I think that they make bigger cookie scoops in this. That's not quite as big as like an ice cream scoop or something. But I found that this just like makes the perfect size meatball in my opinion, and it keeps everything super consistent. And I think that's really important when you're making a meatball, because you want everything to cook evenly. You don't want to have giant meatballs and then tiny ones that are getting overcooked or anything. So yeah, this just really kind of helps to keep your meatballs consistent. And then also while I'm rolling these out, I wet my hands a little bit, and that kind of helps to keep the meatball mixture from sticking to your hands and like actually forming a ball. So I'm gonna start rolling out my meatballs. I'm gonna wet my hands first, just like, you know, some cool room temperature water. You know, you don't want them to be dripping, but damp hands here. And then I just scoop, go along the side of the bowl to scrape off any excess, plop it in your hand, and then roll out your little meatball. And I'm just gonna start lining those in the bottom of my crock pot. So done making the meatballs. Let me give you a meatball tour. We have all our little meatballs in the bottom there. I just did one row, and then I had some extras. Like my crock pot bottom wasn't big enough, so I just threw the other ones kind of on top there. So overall that made 23 meatballs, and then I usually divide this into 4 servings, so that'll be a little over 5 meatballs per serving, and then you get sauce, and then I'm cooking pasta as well. So I'm gonna start making the sauce now, because these are going to cook in our 0-point sauce. So let's do that. All right, so I almost feel stupid like showing this because it's so stupid easy, but I guess I'm gonna show you anyway. So all I'm gonna do is add in 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. These are the Cento tomatoes. Literally the only ingredient in this can is tomatoes. So I'm gonna add in that whole can using my mini spatula. I'm gonna scrape it all out. There we go. And then I'm gonna add in my half a diced onion. And I'm gonna add in my whole diced pepper. Let's throw in some garlic. This is really like a measure with your heart situation. And my heart is telling me to put a lot of garlic in. Okay, and then I'm gonna add in my freshly chopped mushrooms. I think that we lost one on the back here. There we go. And then let's put in a little bit of chicken broth too. Let's see, let's do this. I'm just gonna take my can and I'm gonna fill it like let's do like a third of the way with chicken broth. And this is like a no salt added chicken broth. That seems like enough. So I didn't do like a fourth. Then let's add our seasoning. I'm adding lots of salt to this. I love salt, in case you didn't know. And then we're gonna do some Italian seasoning. Like that much, I don't know, what is that, a tablespoon? Let's do some more of that. It's maybe like, I don't know, a tablespoon and a half. And then I'm gonna do some more onion and garlic powder because there wasn't enough garlic in that, I guess. Okay, and then I'm gonna do spinach, pretty much like probably almost the rest of the way. If you like more tomatoes in this, you can add like a can of diced tomatoes. That's really good. Just to add like a textural difference, but I feel like I always make sauce and I have like too much sauce. So we have the rest of this filled with spinach, and now all I'm gonna do is put the lid on this. Like so, and I'm gonna put this on high and it's gonna cook for 4 hours. And I think maybe in like an hour or two, I'm gonna maybe like 2 or 3 hours, I'll come back and I'll kind of give like the sauce a stir, but I'm gonna try not to disturb the meatballs on the bottom. I mean, I'm sure at that point it probably doesn't even matter, but that's the plan. So we'll do that. I can check in with you when I do that, and then all we're gonna do is cook our pasta and dinner's ready. So I'm gonna clean up the kitchen and I'll be back. Okay, so it's been a little over 4 hours. It's probably been like 4.5 hours. And I'm gonna take a peek in on our meatballs. So I did, why don't this like, here we go. I did, stir them like maybe like 3 hours or so. I didn't stir the meatballs, I just kind of like stirred the sauce on top. And I said I was gonna check in for that, but I didn't because I just really felt like you didn't need me to. So now, oh baby. Yes. Serving meatball realness right now. Okay, so I'm gonna take my thermometer and jab one of these guys here. There we go. Okay, yeah, we're in the 180s here, so I would say that those are cooked to a acceptable temperature. So I'm going to leave this on high so this can just kind of cook down a little bit more. And I'm gonna boil some noodles, and that's gonna be it for our sauce. So once I'm done cooking up all the noodles and plate everything, I will show you guys what's going on. Okay, so this is my big ass bowl of pasta. So, oh, there we go. So I have a 1.25 cups of penne pasta. We use the Trader Joe's brown rice pasta. It's gluten-free, and that one is like one of the better gluten-free pastas that we found. And literally the only ingredients in it are brown rice and water. So I'm not sure how they do that, but it's really good. And then, so one serving size of the meatballs is it's 3 points for 5 meatballs. And then the 1.25 cups of the pasta is only, I think it's only 7 points, but I can put like all the point descriptions and everything down below. And then I have 1 point worth of Parmesan cheese, and our sauce is only 0 points. So, I mean, as far as a pasta night goes on Weight Watchers, it's like really not bad. And they're like good meatballs. Do you like my meatballs, Lucas?
I fucking love your balls.
Okay, you guys, so that is the wrap up of my favorite spaghetti and meatballs recipe. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you try it, and as always, I will put all of the ingredients and recipes and point values and everything in the description box below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!